Jealousy is in our DNA, whether you want to admit it or not. We've seen it in every sport. When someone outshines a player, it's like swallowing a cactus for them. Impossible to digest. Some people can keep their cool, but some golfers? Not so much. Their jealousy turns into full-blown intensity, fueling epic rivalries. You might say, but golf seems all calm and classy. Well, sorry to burst your bubble, because the players here are the most intense, dramatic, and downright savage when it comes to their rivals. Think I'm exaggerating? I've got some juicy dirt to prove it. By the end of this video, you might see your favorite golfer in a whole new light. So buckle up, watch till the end, and let me know in the comments if I nailed it or not. Phil Mickelson versus Tiger Woods. Now imagine you're racing at the front, feeling all victorious, and then suddenly someone zips past you like they've got jet engines. Naturally, you'd be fuming or super jealous, right? Well, that's pretty much the essence of the Phil Mickelson versus Tiger Woods feud. It's one of those classic golf rivalries that's as juicy as it gets, loaded with fierce competition and personalities that are worlds apart. When Phil Mickelson stepped onto the PGA Tour in 1992, he quickly made a name for himself as a top-notch player. But the whole game changed when Tiger Woods strutted in like he owned the place in 1996. Tiger's rise was nothing short of meteoric, with him snagging his first major at the 1997 Masters. At just 21, he became the youngest golfer to pull off that stunt. And look at what your jealous Phil said about him.
Tiger is an underrated smack talker. Okay, he doesn't get the credit for his smack talk because he does it so understated.
By the late 90s and early 2000s, Tiger was dominating the scene like it was nobody's business. By 2001, he'd already racked up 8 major titles, while Phil was still hunting for his first. The 2001 Masters was a prime example of their rivalry heating up. They were paired together in the final round, but despite Phil's strong game, Tiger walked away with the title and completed the Tiger Slam. Yep, he held all 4 major titles at once, leaving Phil to play second fiddle yet again. Things got even spicier in 2003 when Mickelson decided to throw some shade Tiger's way. He publicly trashed Tiger's equipment, calling it inferior. He actually said, "Tiger is the only player who is good enough to overcome the equipment he's stuck with." Ouch. That's like a backhanded compliment mixed with a solid diss, and it definitely cranked up the heat in their rivalry. Their head-to-head stats kept everyone on the edge of their seats. Over the years, they faced off in 38 tournaments. Tiger has a slight edge, having outshot Phil in 19 rounds compared to Mickelson's 15, with 4 ties. It was like watching 2 heavyweights trading punches, and the fans couldn't get enough. Then came the 2004 Ryder Cup, a total fiasco when US captain Hal Sutton thought it'd be genius to pair them up. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. They had zero chemistry and lost both their matches, which only added more strain to their already tense relationship. But here's the twist. By 2018, these two decided to cash in on their rivalry with The Match, a high-stakes showdown for a cool $9 million. Phil won after a nail-biting contest that went into extra holes, giving him a sweet taste of victory in their ongoing saga. This feud isn't just about their on-course battles. Their off-course antics and public digs added layers of drama and kept everyone hooked. Seve Ballesteros and Paul Azinger. But if you think Tiger and Phil's spat was the height of golfing drama, you might want to sit down for this one. Let's talk about the real heavyweights of golf feuding named as Seve Ballesteros and Paul Azinger. Now, this wasn't just a rivalry. It was practically a soap opera with golf clubs. Let's rewind to the 1989 Ryder Cup at the Belfry. Ballesteros accused Azinger of cheating by dropping a ball improperly. Yep, we're talking full-on playground accusations here. This little incident sparked a wildfire of tension that made their future encounters look like a UFC fight. Seve, known for his gamesmanship, loved messing with his opponents' heads. Naturally, this drove Azinger up the wall. Fast forward to 1991, and we arrive at the Ryder Cup at Kiowa Island, famously called the War on the Shore. If you think that name sounds dramatic, wait until you hear what went down. Ballesteros and his buddy Jose Maria Olazabal faced off against Azinger and Chip Beck. They weren't just swinging clubs, they were launching verbal missiles over disputes about ball drops and compression balls. Sev accused Azinger of using a different compression ball, which escalated into a full-blown argument and officials getting involved. Despite all the chaos, the European pair still managed to win both matches, just to rub salt in the wound. Now, this wasn't just a professional rivalry, it was deeply personal. Ballesteros' passionate, strategic approach clashed hard with Azinger's straightforward, no-nonsense style. They were like fire and ice, and the media ate it up. Every public comment, every media snippet added more fuel to the fire, turning their rivalry into a central storyline of the Ryder Cup. Sev had this knack for getting under Azinger's skin, and it was on full display during their 1991 clashes. Vijay Singh versus Phil Mickelson. And if we are here talking about golfing feuds, it's almost impossible not to mention Vijay Singh versus Phil Mickelson. These two golf titans turned the PGA Tour into their personal battleground, each bringing their own brand of fire to the game. So Singh is the guy who could put a military drill sergeant to shame with his meticulous, disciplined approach. Every shot was calculated, every move was planned. Mickelson, on the other hand, was like the mad scientist of golf, always experimenting, always taking risks that made you either cheer or cringe. Naturally, Singh wasn't impressed with Phil's daredevil antics, setting the stage for some epic clashes. The 2005 Masters incident was where things got really juicy. Singh accused Mickelson of distracting him by leaving spike marks on the greens. This wasn't just a casual complaint. Singh went full throttle and lodged an official complaint. The drama hit a new high when Mickelson confronted Singh in the locker room, reportedly calling him a motherfucker in a heated exchange. This confrontation blew up in the media, with fans and commentators feasting on the juicy details. But this feud wasn't a one-and-done kind of deal. Their rivalry simmered and boiled over in subsequent tournaments. Every time they were paired together, you could feel the electricity in the air. It wasn't just about who played better. It was about who could get under the other's skin more. Their matches were intense, must-watch events for anyone who loved a good golf showdown. Their rivalry extended beyond individual tournaments and had a lasting impact on their careers. Singh's disciplined, often confrontational style was a stark contrast to Mickelson's charismatic, sometimes controversial approach. This clash of personalities made for some of the most memorable moments in golf history. Their interactions were a mix of strategic moves and psychological warfare, making their encounters unpredictable and thrilling. One of the key moments of their ongoing feud happened during the 2005 President's Cup. Both players were on edge, and it showed. Singh, annoyed by Mickelson's tactics, publicly criticized Mickelson's spike marks on the greens. This wasn't just about a single round of golf. It highlighted the deep-seated tension between the two players and their different approaches to the game. The media coverage was extensive, with commentators noting how such rivalries add a dramatic flair to the sport. So next time you think of golf as a gentleman's game, remember the fireworks that Singh and Mickelson brought to the course. Rory McIlroy vs Patrick Reed. And talking about the most talked and hyped feud in golfing, you have to look at Rory McIlroy and Patrick Reed. These two didn't just clash, they brought the whole circus with them every time they met on the course. The sparks first flew during their early days on the PGA Tour, but the real fireworks started at the 2016 Ryder Cup. Reed, with his aggressive play and a knack for controversy, often managed to get under McIlroy's skin. Remember the 2019 Hero World Challenge? Reed was caught improving his lie in a bunker, and while McIlroy tried to play it cool, he was clearly ticked off. It was just one of many instances where Reed's antics rubbed Rory the wrong way. The 2016 Ryder Cup at Hazeltine National Golf Club was when their rivalry truly became legendary. In a singles match that felt more like a heavyweight boxing bout, McIlroy and Reed went head-to-head, trading blows with every hole. Reed's infamous shushing gesture after sinking a putt and McIlroy's passionate fist pumps turned this match into an instant classic. It was a spectacle of animosity and mutual respect, pushing both players to their limits. Then came the 2023 Dubai Desert Classic, where things hit a new level of petty. Reed approached McIlroy on the driving range, going for a handshake, which Rory blatantly ignored. Reed, not one to take a snub lightly, tossed a tee in McIlroy's direction. This little spat, dubbed Teagate, blew up in the media. McIlroy later explained his cold shoulder, citing a Christmas Eve subpoena from Reed's lawyer tied to an antitrust lawsuit about LIV Golf. McIlroy summed it up with a zinger. "I'm living in reality. I don't know where he's living." Reed jumped ship to the Saudi-backed LIV Golf, stirring the pot even more with lawsuits and public spats. McIlroy, never one to mince words, has been a vocal critic of LIV Golf and its players, keeping the rivalry fresh and fiery. As McIlroy continues to shine on the PGA Tour, and Reed remains a polarizing figure in LIV Golf, this feud shows no signs of cooling down. Golf may look all sophisticated with its fancy courses and polite clapping, but let's be real, its rivalries are some of the spiciest and longest-running grudge matches you'll ever see. For decades, these players have kept a special dark corner in their hearts just for their rivals. If you're into golf, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So spill the tea. Who do you think has the most intense rivalry? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's stir the pot.